right, what's going on, you guys? Nick here with Nick Strength and Power, and I've got a couple of interesting bodybuilding news stories for you guys today. The first story, unfortunately, is about Ronnie Coleman in the hospital again for yet another surgery. So Ronnie Coleman has posted a couple updates on his social media pages, kind of informing his fans that he is having another surgery, and a lot of people thought that it was for his back again. He's had multiple back surgeries, I believe over a dozen surgeries relating to his back, but apparently this most recent surgery, he went to a routine, regular doctor's visit, going in to get some x-rays done. Now, apparently, these x-rays were on his hip and not his back. So Ronnie says, as you can see, I'm in the hospital again. I ended up going to the doctor today for some x-rays. The x-rays didn't turn out good. So they admitted me. I've been here since 5 o'clock all by myself, getting ready to do this surgery on my right hip early in the morning. So I guess I'll see you guys after all this is over. Now, after the surgery, Ronnie did post an update letting his fans know that he was okay and he came out of the surgery just fine. He posted a picture in his hospital bed with his training partner, Big J from Big J's Extreme Fitness, and said, quote, I am finally feeling a lot better after surgery. Here I'm hanging with my training partner and partner in crime, Big J's Extreme Fitness. Surgery was yesterday around noon, and I can always count on my training partner to meet me at my surgery appointment and wait the entire time while I'm having surgery. If that's not the true definition of a friend, there's no such thing. Then he goes on to say that during the surgery, the doctor said he replaced both cups holding the titanium hook, and then he put a cage around both so that I'll be able to do leg presses without a problem. So that was the nature of Ronnie Coleman's most recent surgery. So Ronnie Coleman right now in need of your thoughts and prayers or whatever positive vibes you want to send towards the king, Ronnie Coleman. It really seems like Ronnie just can't catch a break over the past couple of years. I feel like it's just been surgery after surgery popping up in the news, and it's got to be really taking a toll on Ronnie. So Ronnie is definitely in my thoughts, and I'm definitely sending positive vibes towards the king, 8-time Mr. Olympia, Ronnie Coleman. Now, next up in the news, a little bit of a sadder story today. Rocky Johnson, who is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's father, a legendary professional wrestler, passed away today at the age of 75 years old. Rocky Johnson was a legendary tag team wrestler with his tag team partner, Tony Atlas, whom I've done multiple videos on Tony Atlas because he was also a competitive bodybuilder. Tony Atlas has one of the most impressive physiques in the history of wrestling in general, I believe. And one of the things that was so legendary about Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas's tag team was they were actually the first black tag team champions to win the World Tag Team Championship in the WWF at the time, the World Wrestling Federation. So Rocky Johnson was really a trailblazer at his craft, and of course he also gave us Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who would also in turn become a legend in professional wrestling and many other endeavors, as well as Hollywood. So my condolences to Rocky Johnson's family. Of course, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Very sad news today with the passing of Rocky Johnson, the wrestling legend. Now, next up in the news, Patrick Moore. So Patrick Moore is getting ready for the 2020 Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. In my opinion, he's one of the favorites for this show. He's one of my favorites to be within that top 6 at the 2020 Arnold Classic. Now, we saw a couple days ago, William Bonac posted an update where he measured his arms at about 22 inches. And Patrick Moore posted an update in addition to measuring his arms. He measured his waist at 31 inches, with a shoulder-to-waist ratio of 31 with the waist to a 59-inch shoulder measurement, with his arms also measuring in at 22 inches. So I've said it before, I'll say it again, and I'll probably say it many, many more times between now and the 2020 Arnold Classic. I think Patrick Moore is really bringing something different to men's open bodybuilding with the V-taper that he has, the small waist that he has, the fact that he can hit a vacuum pose, and just simply how aesthetic he looks for a men's open bodybuilder, while at the same time having all the upper body size and lower body size of just a big men's open bodybuilder. And he proves that here with these measurements, specifically with the small waist is really the main thing that I think a lot of people think stands out about, Patrick Moore's physique is that crazy small waist. And here he really proves how crazy it is. I think it really is a rarity that you see someone with arms measuring 22 inches that still has a waist only measuring 31 inches. It's something that you simply just don't see in men's open bodybuilding today, and that's why I think Patrick Moore has such an outstanding and unique physique in this lineup. And I think that combined with the crazy conditioning that he does bring to the stage that a lot of men's open bodybuilders don't bring anymore, I think he's just going to be extremely dangerous at this Arnold Classic, and I can't wait to see how well he's going to do because I just know he's going to do very well. It makes me excited about men's open bodybuilding again. I really see some potential in the way that things are going and, the way that he's placing pretty well. I mean, 10th place at the Olympia is a good placing. And I think he's showing a lot of other men's open guys that it can be done. You can be aesthetic and big and hold on to that small waist. So shout out again to Patrick Moore. Now, next up in the news, we have Brian Shaw posting a pretty insane physique update. Brian Shaw obviously is a former world's strongest man. He's a strongman competitor, and he's getting ready for this weekend's Arnold Santa Monica Strongman Classic. And when he posted this physique update, it led a lot of people to sending me said physique update with the question, could Brian Shaw have been a bodybuilder? You guys might remember back in the earlier days of my channel, I used to make those videos, could so-and-so have been a bodybuilder, where I would talk about celebrities or different people that obviously weren't bodybuilders but still had impressive physiques and analyze their potential as a professional bodybuilder. So a lot of people were sending me this because typically you don't see Brian Shaw hitting a front double bicep and a back double bicep with his shirt off. But honestly, I think he looks pretty good. I mean, he's 6'8". I believe he's like 430 or 440 pounds. Extremely massive guy. And for a guy with that height and that body weight, I think he actually has a pretty impressive physique. And I wouldn't really call it leanness, but I think the way that he carries that weight, I think actually looks pretty good for someone, again, weighing anything in excess of 400 pounds. To carry the weight like that, I think is pretty impressive. And again, I think it's kind of hard to say he's lean for 440, but again, I think he carries it very well. So best of luck to Brian Shaw at this weekend's Arnold Santa Monica Pro Strongman Classic. I'm sure he's going to do very well there. And then, of course, we have the regular Arnold Strongman Classic in Columbus, Ohio in the beginning of March. All right, now the next story that I have for you guys today, I think is kind of a big one. Now, Kai Green and Phil Heath both have reshared this post that says the realest clash of the Titans, and it has obviously a picture of Kai Green and Phil Heath, but Kai Green reposted it with an interesting caption, said, yes, they think we are sleeping, but we're out here about to shock everybody. So one of the possibilities that I had speculated before is that Kai Green and Phil Heath, particularly Phil Heath, are waiting to make their comeback at the 2020 Athleticon in October. Obviously Kai Green hasn't done the Olympia for a number of years. Phil Heath, this is the first Olympia he skipped. In 2020, he hasn't said, really any sign of him competing in 2020. That would be the second Olympia that Phil skips. So personally, I think in all likelihood, if we are going to see Phil Heath and Kai Green again, more specifically Phil Heath, because I think Phil Heath has a much greater likelihood of coming back than Kai, just because Kai's been gone for so much longer than Phil. I think that 2020 Athleticon presents the most unique and interesting opportunity for them to come back. Again, we know that Phil has some affiliation with Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. They're friends to some extent. They know each other through other business things. And like I said before, obviously The Rock wants his first ever bodybuilding promotion to be a massive success. And what better way to do that than have a major comeback at his show, like the comeback of Phil Heath, or a major set of comebacks, like the comeback of the rivalry between Kai Green and Phil Heath. And I think, obviously Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is a promotional monster. He knows what he's doing when it comes to promoting things, and I think bodybuilding is going to be no exception to that. The Rock knows what he needs to do, and he knows that the lineup at this 2020 Athleticon needs to be exceptional. It can't just be a regular, average like Arnold Classic caliber lineup. It has to be something special and unique, and it has to be a headliner, an attention grabber. The Rock's first show really has to make an impression. And like I said before, what better impression to make, especially if you don't see Phil at the 2020 Olympia, but you do see him at Athleticon, and especially if you haven't seen Kai in X amount of years and you see him at Athleticon. But again, Kai has made various hints and stuff about coming back and hasn't came back. So I would have more faith in Phil Heath coming back than Kai, but it does present an interesting little topic of conversation. The fact that they reposted that with this caption, I think is interesting. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I know you guys always do. Do you think we're going to see Phil Heath ever compete again? Do you want to see Phil Heath ever compete again? And do you think we're going to see Kai Green ever compete again? And do you want to see Kai Green ever compete again? I know he's been hinting at it for years, and I know, based on reading the comment section, that when Kai Green does hint at coming back and then does not come back, the fans are not happy about it. I've read the comments hundreds, if not thousands of times, the disappointment with Kai Green not coming back. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Is it a possibility? Is Kai just blowing smoke? Is Phil just blowing smoke? Personally, I don't think Phil's done. I think Phil's going to come back. especially now, with the climate in bodybuilding now and the caliber of bodybuilders now, and everybody complaining that bodybuilding isn't as competitive as it used to be. The guys aren't as good as they used to be. People saying the Olympia lineup was weak. The top guys are weak. We got guys skipping shows. Big Ramy not doing the Olympia last year, I should say. Rolly Winkler pulling out of the Arnold Classic. Just all this stuff going on, I think, is the perfect climate for a bodybuilder like Phil to come back and make a really bold statement at a brand new show like Athleticon. And that's what I think we're going to see. So as always, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did in fact enjoy it. And as always, Nick Strength and Power, signing out.